Thank you, Tim. Good morning, everyone. Giles is a bit of a force, isn't he? He wasn't always like that, and in that he had that energy, but you could tell it was a little brittle. When I first met him, he was easily 9 kilos heavier than what you saw today. He was regularly injured, and he was trying to compete in triathlons. So part of his journey, he hasn't told you, he's now representing Great Britain in age group level, and next year he will be getting better and better again, at the same time as taking that business through the journey. So I think it's a great story personally, but I want to expand on the business side of things for what happened at Vita Coco. We had no idea where they were on this. They hadn't really done much in terms of looking at their people. So using LiveSmart gave us a really powerful tool to kind of see what was happening under the hood. You can always talk to people about the trends. 70% of people are dying of lifestyle diseases, and that it's down to people not really taking control of their health, and they don't have a plan, they're not active enough. You can blab away like this all day, as we have the public health sector doing. It doesn't really land with people. They have to get their own bit of data on this. So I take them through a really simple model. Let's assess where you are as an individual, where you are as a business. Let's sit down with that and design with you a path forward that's easy to implement, it's not overwhelming, that's going to fit with where you are on the journey and the culture of the business. We do a cycle of implementation, and then we come back to the front. How do we do? How are we going? And be as objective as we can about that. So, December 2016, this is Vita Coco's company score. If you're familiar with the LiveSmart system, 70 is basic level of health, NHS, WHO. These guys are young in this business. They were really surprised at getting 49. Their brand kind of positions itself at around 80, if you ask subjectively, where you put the brand Vita Coco. The people within the brand, driving the brand, are not resilient. They were really stressed, and they had no awareness of that. So the individual scores, as Giles mentioned, were kept private. We reported the group data. We were able to take them in one cycle to 65. We had 4% that were 70 in the first assessment. We got that up to nearly 29% of the business. What I'm really, really happy is that a lot of those people in the red were moved out of that. So we really got to the high risk people in the business as well. We started this cycle again in March. They've kept those changes. They haven't gone backwards. We've had some people kind of slip a bit, but by and large, the business implementation side of things has stuck. The culture piece has worked. When you look into this 2008 data with a bit more detail, fried foods are still an issue. They're eating out too much. Sugar is still high for them. And as Giles mentioned, they have a kitchen. The business supplies breakfast. They can basically order in from Ocado whatever they want and come in and have breakfast at work. It takes pressure off the commute side of things. So something we did initially was grab the Ocado shopping list and count up how many teaspoons of sugar they were buying into the business each week. It turned out to be about 605, 2.5 kilos. And in that first cycle, we got that down 32%. So we did that through some education. We did that through some workshops. We didn't tell them what they should or shouldn't buy. That's them asking for different things on the shopping list. And we randomly grabbed a week about 6 months later. We like doing little things like that give them feedback that it's working, what little things they're doing are taking root. They were also high on the salts. The 10,000 steps things wasn't happening. They pretty much self-activated on this in the same way that Nikki was just talking about. They got the competition up and running, and it's really competitive. The age group, I think, feeds into that, but it's easy to do. And one of the simplest things that we implemented was there was like a visual board with the team scores. So you walk in the office, you see where your team is. Oh, am I helping that team go up the board or down the board? It's a conversation starter that regularly happens from logging the steps. They weren't hitting the gym enough, doing some basic exercise. Alcohol, as Giles mentioned, was a problem. And I think that's part of the city we live in, the age group these guys are in, and we still haven't quite cracked that nut yet. So let's dive a little bit deeper. With that data, what can we do? I'm not going to run through the whole program. I'm going to give you an insight into some of the nutrition stuff that we did. So we designed some workshops, and the workshops fall into learning basics about nutrition, movement, and then resilience being the last workshop. We delivered that through the online platform Giles mentioned. We can kind of curate the content we present to these guys based on what we're trying to get them to learn or engage on in that month or 2 months, and it supports the workshop that we're delivering. So we started with the nutrition and health coaching. They had a one-to-one consultation with a functional medicine certified health coach. This was like face-to-face. We had someone turn up at the office. Although we tried to make sure the meetings weren't in a small room with unnatural light, they were often outside, walking, sometimes in a supermarket, as our coach would take them through good options versus bad options, really try to customise it to the individual and what they were after with their consultation. The last workshop we had, I engaged with about 3 or 4 of the team that had been through this, and they said that was one of the key things for them this year that gave them some clarity about what they're going to work on and some solid steps that they could put into plan. So I can't emphasise enough that the benefit of having a one-to-one connection with someone who's just asking really smart questions about how you would do X and what are the concerns about implementing Y, and then providing simple solutions to that. As I said, the workshops, we took them to SMEG. It was a great night. I got one of my private chefs that does a lot of our concierge work to come along, Albie, and we polled the team. Here's 3 options for breakfast you could learn. Here's 3 options that could be lunch or dinner. They voted on what they wanted to learn. We're cooking shakushka and then chickpea curry. We pulled in some help from Riverford. They delivered the ingredients. We had 1 glass of wine each there just to keep it really light. And then Albie taught everyone how to actually put this together. We divided the group into 4 teams, and there was a little bit of competition. 2 teams cooking shakushka and 2 people cooking the chickpea. And they're kind of judged, but in a light-hearted way, on flavour and presentation and whatnot. Do you know what? It got people learning skills together, engaging together with their work colleagues in a totally different environment. It was really, really amazing event, and everyone commented on 2 or 3 things they picked up skill-wise around the kitchen they'd never heard of, sweating garlic with salt, or you name it. Everyone learned something and walked away that night, and we now have a little bit of team Friday. Who's bringing breakfast to work? They're cooking the stuff and bringing it in. The chickpea curry can be brought in, and it's now slowly being integrated into the business. That the nutrition piece is really important, and doing it together can be fun. The NPS, tracking that with the LiveSmart score. We started at 49, we hit 65, we're on 64. The last bit for us, getting to 70, isn't going to be easy. There are lots of things that we have to work on to do that. But I'm confident we've got a way of helping them really get clear on what they need as individuals and a business, and then really interacting with them around what they want and being able to be flexible and blend that together. And I think every business is unique where they are on this journey, the kind of culture about how they learn, how they work together. And if we can create programs that can meet that, we're going to get better uptake, they're going to have more fun doing it, it's not going to feel onerous, and we're going to see that over time stick with the business and how they operate. Thank you.